care of the women in their family. So it's not, I mean, for years and years, I've been hearing that people saying that this is part of the Middle Eastern people's culture, like wearing hijab or not going to stadium or not dancing, not singing. This is part of your culture. It's not. It is the culture of a religious dictatorship. So for millions of Iranians who experienced Sharia laws, it's very clear that the Islamic Republic, right after the revolution, tried to control the whole society through women. And that is why they use our body like their own political platform to write their manifest on it. See Afghanistan right now. What is the main picture of Afghanistan, which was, being taken over by Taliban? Covering women's face. What was the main image of women when they got, Yazidi women, when they got free from ISIS? You remember? The picture of women burning, the compulsory veiling. So you see, for us, it's not about a small piece of cloth when we talk about compulsory hijab. Compulsory hijab is like the main pillar of religious dictatorship. It's like, as I always say, it's like the Berlin Wall, And that is why the Islamic Republic really not willing to let it go. They rather kill teenagers, but they don't want to actually say that we're going to get rid of morality police, we're going to get rid of compulsory hijab, because they know that we, the women of Iran, are not just fighting to get rid of morality police or compulsory hijab. We see this compulsory hijab like it's in the DNA of religious dictatorship. It's in the DNA of a gender apartheid regime. So for us, clearly, we want separation between religion and politics. And this is 21st century, and I don't think this is too much to ask.
Well, so there's the Sharia law issue, there's the religious issue, then there's a psychological issue that I want to delve into momentarily to see if we can sort these things out a little bit. It's still a mystery to me in some regard, because it appears to me, and this is maybe just my Western liberal bias, that the optimal relationship between a man and a woman is one of, well, first of all, it's voluntary. And second of all, there's an element of playfulness about it if it's running optimally, right? So there's love and playfulness and care and all that associated with it. But the most relevant part of all of that is the fact that it's a voluntary association. And that's part of what makes it both tolerable for both parties and maybe enjoyable for both parties. But it's also something that speaks to the heart of the proper social contract in relationship to long-term, to any long-term arrangement between men and women. So then I'm trying to think about what it has to be like to be a man who believes that women have to be controlled in this manner. And it has to be, and this is psychologically speaking, it has to be something like the belief that unless you police women entirely in all of their...
Black Rifle Coffee Company is on a mission to build a support network for veterans, first responders, and law enforcement by serving you the best coffee you've ever had. Thanks to your support, that dream has become a reality. This year alone, Black Rifle Coffee donated over 120,000 bags of coffee to veterans and first responders, while expanding their own team of active duty service members, veterans, and veteran family members. If you want to continue supporting this incredible company, go to blackriflecoffee.com and use promo code Jordan at checkout for 10% off your purchase and your first coffee club order. Black Rifle Coffee is roasted by a veteran-led team of expert coffee graders here in the U.S. And remember, it's your support that gets gear, funding, and supplies into the hands of those on our front lines. The producers of the show, myself included, love Black Rifle Coffee and find it the perfect go-to for the morning commute to work as well as work itself. Black Rifle Coffee gives us the boost we need, expertly mixing bold flavor and that much-needed kick of caffeine. So go to blackriflecoffee.com and use promo code Jordan for 10% off. You can also find Black Rifle Coffee in grocery and convenience stores near you. Black Rifle Coffee, America's coffee, and our preferred blend to enjoy alongside the Jordan B.Peterson podcast.
Behaviors, especially anything that might be attractive on the sexual front, that they'll want nothing to do with you and they're completely untrustworthy. It has to be something like that, because if you leave women to their own devices, well, then they're not going to have anything to do with you, and they're going to flaunt their wares, so to speak, to other men, and everything will fall apart. And I can't really imagine a more cowardly attitude towards women than that. The attitude is, unless you tell them what to do all the time, they're going to have nothing to do with you and run off. Yeah, it's pathetic. It's utterly pathetic. And I don't think that's exactly religious. It seems to me to be, in some real sense, it's even deeper than religious. It's this appallingly second-rate psychology of some notion of the relationship between men and women. Unless it's based on strict control and power, there's no possibility of an optimal relationship, because women are untrustworthy and they're sexually provocative, and they'll just run off on you if you don't police every bloody thing they do. And that's so pathetic. And if that's the basis of your entire polity, which is the point you're making with regards to the hijab, you can't see that a political society like that could be anything but ultimately repressive.
Of course, look, but at the end of the day, in my country, Iran, in Afghanistan, in the Middle East, we see that if the religion leave men alone, leave women alone, we know how to handle our life. We know how to deal with any kind of discrimination if we see through culture or through men among our family controlling us. But when the law is actually promoting violence and calling men to be the owner of women, then it's getting worse and difficult, you know? I remember that for years and years, Iranian regime actually were like brainwashed the whole society, especially through educational system, educating young boys that you are the owner of your sister. So when we grow up in such society, for instance, we're being told that men, according to Sharia law, can marry 4 wives. They can have as much as women that they want. And oh my God, women cannot, I mean, as a woman, if you show your hair, it's a crime, but men are allowed to actually do whatever they want to do. And in the name of honor, father can kill his daughter. I mean, these are facts that I'm telling you. Like a girl in Iran who removed her hijab, Sabah Kordafshari, received 24 years prison sentence just because of removing her hijab in Iran. But a father who actually beheaded his